Hi, Master None, and spring has sprung, so that means it's snowing out right now and wind is blowing, so let's have a beer review instead. Not free beer like last time. Discount beer though. This is Resin. Sixpoint Brewery, Brooklyn, New York. New York? That wasn't a Brooklyn accent though, that was Long Island. Double IPA, or as they say, an IIPA. You all know I'm not a big fan of IPAs, or just, I guess, not in on the fad, at least. It's not that I dislike IPAs, it's I wish that breweries made more than just IPAs. But this one was in the discount rack awfully cheap, and I noticed it was 9.1 ABV, so I thought cheap beer is the discount beer. I shouldn't say cheap. Discount beer is the next best thing to free beer. And 9.1, that's a little bit of a bang for your buck. And it's like a 19-ounce can, 19.2 ounces, so there's still a little bit left in here after my pour. And right off the bat, that's a nice head on that beer, and that is a really nice color on that. Just a beautiful hazy golden color to it. Smells like an IPA, a really fruity nose to it. Pleasant, you know, I mean, usually think most IPAs smell better than they taste. I wouldn't have guessed it was 9.1% alcohol without reading the can. That's you know, like, for calling it a double IPA, it is not beat you in the face hoppy or anything like that. You know, like where you feel like you're gonna go like puckering or anything. That's a pretty well balanced beer right there. It's an IPA, so obviously there's some hops to it, but there's a bit of a sweetness too. It's just really well balanced. I gotta say, and off the top of my head, I don't think of New York as well, I guess beer is made in every small town across the nation these days. It sure seems so like that around here. Every town's got a brewery now. But I don't think of New York as a big beer state, but Sixpoint here has a pretty decent IPA. I don't know about the marketing. Dank hop candy blast off at 9.1% and 19.2 ounces per beer. If you had too many of these, you would blast off. Can we fit the rest in there now? There's that. And again, I love that. The color of this thing. That's the color of beer that's not like a porter or a stout or anything, you know. I wish all my cream ales were that color, and everything else that I drink, I like that. That is a nice color to it. Wow. An IPA I don't regret. I like that too. Again, though, I wouldn't, like, when I find a good IPA that I enjoy, it's not something that I want to drink a ton of. It's not something I want to drink every day. I think before the IPA craze, it's something that in the summer I'd usually once in a while get an IPA and say, oh, hey, kind of in the mood for an IPA. Now that you buy a variety pack and there'll be 4 beers in there and 3 of them will be IPAs, it's just too much, and it's just came to take up too much of the beer selection in almost every single liquor store. So I get a little bit of a negativity about it. And like I said, it's not that I dislike them, I just dislike how trendy and popular they've been for years now. It's just it's like the only beer that anybody takes any time and effort to make is their IPAs, and everything else is an afterthought. So I know this is supposed to be a beer review of this beer, and I'm sorry for going off on a little tangent, but it's kind of what happens when I start drinking an IPA and thinking of the days when you could get like a nice malty English ale that I really enjoyed, and now it's hard to find. And really, not the time for it, because this isn't an IPA I really want to complain about. It's not quite as good as Bell's Hop Slam. That's kind of my pinnacle of IPAs right there. But it is pretty darn good. It's well balanced. It's got a little bit of that dryness on the back end, which is kind of expected from an IPA, but big surprise out of this one. I didn't expect much. Excuse me, it was less than $2 out of the discount area of my liquor store, and just going into it, you look at a beer that's especially an IPA that's 9.1%, and you're like, ooh. But it was a lot of beer for a cheap price, so I thought, why not? And I'm glad I did now. That's pretty good. So, let us know if you've tried this. Put it down in the comments. Tell us what you thought of the Sixpoint Resin IPA, double IPA. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and we'll catch you on the next one.